New Year's Eve. Uh, okay, so it is shoulder day. And if you're wondering what happened to back day, we had a series of events take place yesterday, which made it extremely difficult for me to get here. Now, I could have gotten here at night, late night, very late night, like 11 o'clock. But I was like, you know what? We're doing a deload period, this split. I just took the day off, right? I was going to come in here and do a little bit of back today, just light movements, the same way we did with chest. But uh, I want to get this deload period over with because it's really hard to not train hard. Like I love shoulder day, so it's really going to be difficult for me to sit here and just go through a few motions and then call it a day. So we are going to uh, do just that, and I think the entire shoulder workout is going to be right here on this particular cable machine here. And I think we're just going to do some side lateral raises, just a couple sets, a couple front lateral raises, and then maybe just some face pulls. And maybe, just a couple, one or two sets of rear delts. But that's about it. So go super light. Hit the other side. All right. So I figure, as a matter of fact, I'm just going to take these off because what I want to do is discuss some of these movements since we're doing a deload period. Maybe I'll just go into a little bit more, talk a little bit more about the form that I do. So if you notice, I'm going to do one more set here. And I could probably talk my way through it, talk my way out of it. But if you notice, a lot of times when I do side lateral raises, especially with a cable, I'm kind of I'm kind of leaning out this way a little bit. I'm not straight up like this. A lot of it's for leverage more than anything. But also, something to keep in mind. That's, sometimes I lean out. Sometimes I'll come out even this far. And then sometimes I'm just kind of leaned out a little bit like this, not by much. It just depends on how I feel. But if you notice when I do these, right, and it's pretty much the same with dumbbells too, I try my best to keep the tension all on the shoulder and I lead with the elbow, right? So let me lighten it a little more just so I can give you guys, so I can talk through it. So I'm going to kind of lean in just a little bit, like, yeah, probably like this, right? I'm keeping the tension. I'm coming up. But when I come down, I'm not coming all the way in like this, right? I'm not coming bam like this. Because once I come to like right here, all the tension's off the shoulder. What I try to do is come out, I'm up, I'm coming like right about to there, up to here, just like that. Because when I let it go too far in this way, like I said, it just takes all the tension off the shoulder. I want to keep that tension on the shoulder. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times, especially with dumbbells, if I grab those 40s, right? I mean, those are heavy to me. 44. I think last shoulder day we did 45s. Those are freaking heavy, man. So sometimes the weight comes down and the tension comes off, especially in the last couple of reps. But I mean, for the most part, I'm trying my best to just keep the tension constant on the shoulder. Same with this. So out and then like just to right here, right? Just enough to where I still feel the tension on the shoulder coming up, just like this. Now, the lighter the weight, the easier it is to do this. And like I said, sometimes when I grab those 40, 45-pound dumbbells and I'm doing side lateral raises, it's not so easy to have the greatest form, which is a separate conversation because while I do like to go heavy, usually if I grab the 45 pounds, I can get like the first 5 or 6 are pretty good form. But let's be real, right? If you watch my videos, sometimes it starts turning into a little bit of swinging, which I don't think it's bad towards the end of a set, but those first like 5, 6, as many reps as you can, you want to try to I try to keep the tension on the shoulder as much as possible. And that concept that goes for any muscle for that matter. If I'm doing dumbbell curls, right? If I do a if I'm doing arms, right? Just hypothetically, what I'm not going to do is this. Come all the way down, right? I'm going to come down right about here, come up. That tension is constantly on the bicep. Same thing with chest, back, pretty much everything. Let's switch. Now, the same can be said for the front lateral raises too, right? What I don't want to do is come up and come all the way back, like where my arm is behind me, because then all the tension's off the shoulder, the front delt. What I prefer to do is this: come up until my arm is maybe like just slightly in front of the thigh, up, right, up, up, up. And by doing it this way, by keeping my number one, keeping my wrist straight, none of this floppy wrist shit. By keeping my wrist straight, leading with the elbow, and only coming down to right about here, just to where my wrist is just in front of my thigh. All the tension remains right here on the front delt. And that's what I want. Now, again, when I start getting into heavier weight, you know, there's definitely a little bit of this. I try not to do too much swinging, you know. There might be a little bit like towards the end, but for the most part, and I'm confident you can go back to any shoulder workout, you're going to see pretty fairly strict form on these, where I'm just hitting it just like this. Because if I feel, if I, if I start a set, right? Let me show you. If I start out and too heavy to where I feel I have to do this, like this, I'm doing nothing for my shoulder, right? I don't want to do that. I want that good squeeze up the top, just like this. Nice, even flow, just like that. And keep the tension constant on the shoulder. That's my advice for shoulders today. Okay, so let's just hit a couple rear delt movements here. And again, now with these, right? So I'm using both stacks. It's not on the stack. I'm just using both stacks. Today, I have these all the way up on the top. Okay, so it's coming from above to where I go like this. Sometimes I have them lower, like more shoulder length, and I do the reverse fly like this, where it's more, the lower I have it, the more I'm coming this way as opposed to this way. It's just a matter of preference. It's just whatever I feel that particular day is what I do. I keep them way up. Sometimes I put them down. I don't know if I go quite as low as shoulder length, maybe just slightly above shoulder length. But again, these, right? What I'm not doing is coming and letting my hands touch to rest and coming back doing this. And I'm not crossing over like this either. I see some people, they cross like this, right? I don't do that. Just like this. Constant tension on the rear delt. That's what I want. And I want to make sure my wrists are completely straight. I don't want them like this. I don't want them like this. I don't want them like this, if you can see that, or like this. I want them completely straight. It's actually very important to have your wrists straight on things like this. So And again, it's if you're going so heavy to where you're coming in and you're touching to rest, lighten the weight. Constant tension on the rear delt. I never want the tension to come off until I rack it. I gotta give you guys this view. Let's come back a little bit. So you can take a look this way. I guess, you know, I put one leg in front of the other. I don't keep them together just for a balancing perspective. For me, it's easier to have one foot in front of me like this. And I am slightly bent back. I'm not like this, but I'm certainly not standing straight up. I am coming back just slightly. Just like this. Just a nice, even flow. Tension is constantly on the rear delt. And my shoulders are dropped. If I'm up here doing this, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what that's hitting. Shoulders down, chest out, back slightly back. And I'm just coming out like this. Boom. Just like this. Now, just to give you an idea, sometimes I do bring them right about there, right? And it actually feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. But again, it's just specific on the day. Sometimes it feels good. Sometimes I prefer it up. But again, I'm just uh, shoulders down, chest up, bam, just like this. Nice and easy. Constant tension on the rear delt. That's the way you do it. I think. At least that's what works for me. So, let's see. Can you see me here? That's it. Just a couple sets of lateral raises. Super light. Didn't even break a sweat. Uh, hardly any real mechanical tension whatsoever on the shoulders today. Um, but we got the blood flowing. There's definitely blood flowing through it. Uh, everything feels good. You know, the only thing is I am not. I realize that deload periods are important to give your body a rest to help you get over that plateau. But at the same time, it's really difficult to not for me to not just go to complete failure on rear delts or front delts and all that stuff. If you watched the shoulder workout last week on Christmas night, oh, my shoulders were sore, I think, until Saturday. I mean, they were that was a fucking wild shoulder workout. That was one of not the best, but one of the best shoulder workouts I've ever had. And a lot of it just had to do, I was in a bad mood and I was like letting it out, right? So it just wound up turning in what I thought was going to be a crappy workout, wound up being a phenomenal workout, right? But I don't know. I just, I love this stuff so much. I love working out. I love the eating and all that. And I just love going through all the motions of actual bodybuilding, even though I'm kind of on the smaller side compared to some of these guys I see on Instagram and stuff. Some of these, whew, I don't know what these kids are eating. These young 20-year-olds. See some of these kids, they're like 18, 19 years old. I would look like I don't even work out if I stood next to them. They're definitely, there's some guys looking really, really big out there. So, but it doesn't really matter to me. Like, of course, I want to get big. I want to get bigger. I want to see how big I can get at 47. But, you know, uh, it's more important for me to just have fun with this and just to stay in shape, right? Like, I'm in way better shape than I would think than most 47-year-olds my age, right? So that's a cool thing. And so, in terms of New Year's resolutions, I don't know if I really have any other than Okay, I think I do have one. One of the things I want to work on is my diet. Uh, I'm very consistent with eating and hitting my calories and hitting my protein, but I need to be more consistent because morning weight today, and I've been here for like at least 9 or 10 days. I was 213 exactly. So what's going on? The common denominator here is I'm missing meals. They're not often, but enough to where I'm not progressing forward fast enough at the rate I want to. So for me to be stuck at 213 for damn near 2 weeks, that's a red flag. What am I doing wrong? Okay. Holidays, a lot of things going on, a lot of travel, things like that. But there is definitely more inconsistency with the diet than there is with the training, right? So I'm very consistent with training. I very rarely miss. I take days off here and there, not often. But in terms of training and coming in here and busting my ass, that is like literally 100%. I couldn't be more consistent with that. And the proof is I have all the receipts right on YouTube here. But, and that just goes, I guess the point I'm trying to make is when it comes to bodybuilding, the eating aspect, in my opinion, is like 10 times more difficult than actually working out in the gym. I come into the gym 45 minutes, maybe an hour on a leg day, and I'm doing my workout. That's the easy. I think that the working out in the gym is the easiest part of all of this. I really do. As long as you can find yourself in a uh, consistent, being consistent with it, this is the easiest part. The eating is a bitch, man. It is the hardest part because it's so easy to miss. Training is 45 minutes on average per day. The eating aspect of this is like 16 to 18 hours per day. So it's all day from the time I wake up, during work, after work, before gym, after gym, before bed. Man, I'm constantly eating, right? And sometimes, you know, you shove so many calories in your mouth, it's hard to finish some meals, right? Like sometimes I'm like, oh my god, like I'm taking a scoop and washing it down and like drinking it down, right? Because it gets hard, right? So I want to try to for New Year's be more consistent. I'm pretty consistent, but I think I'm only like 90% consistent with the diet. I want to get more like 99% consistent because right now I should be 217, 218. I mean, why not, right? But I'm not. I'm literally stuck at like 213. I've gone up to 214 and like back to 213, 214, 213. So I'm like teetering back and forth, and it's all diet, 100%. So I think, starting, effective immediately. I'm not going to wait till New Year's, right? I'm not that guy. Effective immediately, I'm going to up the calories. I'm right now. I'm between 4,000 and 4,500, roughly. I'm going to up it to 5,000 across the board every day. But I'm also going to clean it up a little bit, right? Just there's a little bit too much junk food in my diet. Not an unhealthy amount, but let's just leave it at that. I want to clean it up a little bit more, right? Maybe eliminate some of the dairy because I've been eating a lot of dairy lately, in a lot of different forms, whether it's cheese or whatever. So I want to cut back on that a little bit, and then and just do a more whole food approach, which is the best way to go, right? Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Up it to 5,000. However, uh, that being said, I'm going to implement effective today 30 minutes of cardio every single day, 7 days a week. Whether it's a rest day, whether it's a training day, just getting my ass in here either first thing in the morning or, you know, later at night, whenever is convenient, and just getting literal 30-minute of cardio in. And sometimes that might be me just throwing my headphones on and taking a walk around the neighborhood for 30 minutes, right? At a decent pace. I'm not going to just take my time. But a lot of times it's on the treadmill, 10% incline, 3.2, 3.3% speed. And after 30 minutes, you're going to work up a sweat. So I think that will be, I think that's what we're going to do. We'll see how that goes. But I'm pretty sure by upping it to 5,000, even throwing 30 minutes of cardio, which is going to be about 300 calories, I'm still going to put on weight because I can't stay stuck at 213 because the goal is 220. I want to hit at least 220 before I start a cut. Um, so, anyway, hope you guys liked the. Well, it was more of a talk today than anything else, but Happy New Year. Hope you guys have an awesome New Year. Get your ass to the gym. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till the second. Just get yourself in there and just go bonkers, man. Just start training. If you don't know what you're doing, watch other people, ask other people. I never ever have a problem with someone coming up to me saying, "Hey, can you show me how to do this?" I love it, and 99% of the people in the gym would love it if you asked. Just don't bother them mid set. All right. But yeah, I mean, just get your ass to the gym and fake it till you make it. You'll learn. You'll learn. Stick around barbershop long enough, you're gonna get a haircut. Have a great Happy New Year's, guys. Drive safe tonight. Utilize Uber. Play it safe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for a light arm workout. Have a great day, everybody.